Dear learners, welcome to Excel Power Tools series. In this video, we are going to learn one important operation called pivoting data in the query editor. Please download the files from the link given in the description box below. If you click on the link, you will receive a file with 203 pivoting data in the query editor. Let's double click on the file to open the file. Please click on enable content if it is asked for. Now, this time we have been given one data called training room checklist. In this worksheet, we have been given a data which is in the table format. So how we got to know? So you will see blue table style medium 2, or you can see table design tab will be open. This is called as room facilities. Now the data is given in this manner. The first one is a location column in which the location is given. The second column is room. The third column is facility. The fourth column is availability. Now we want to pivot this data. Now generally in pivot, what happens is that when a flat data is that and we convert into the pivoted data, then it is going to do aggregation. Let me give you an example. If you see there is one file called demo pivot versus flat. Just double click on the file to open the file to understand this thing. You see, this is called as a structured data. In structured data, you have a header, then you have a respective record into it. You'll see a header which is unique one, and there are some respective record into it, and there are no missing values. Now, this is known as a flat data. Now, when I am going to pivot this data, then this data can be aggregated, say for example, like this. So now I have pivoted my branch and department into the rows, and April I have taken into the column values, and respective values of the April, May and June is being aggregated in terms of value. So these are my values part, these are my column labels, and these are my row labels. So this data is known as a pivot data. Now, in Excel, when we do pivot data, it is going to do summarization, that is basically aggregation of the numeric value. But in Excel, we do not have a facility from changing pivoted data to flattened data. So basically, I am having this kind of analyzed data and I want to convert into the flat data. So for to understand this thing, we have understand one functionality called unpivot. Now whenever we do pivot, it is compulsory going to do summarization or aggregation. But in this file, in our file, I want to aggregate my location, my room, and I want to put my facilities into the column and I want to list the availability. Now, whenever I am going to do aggregation, it is going to do summarization. So, say for example, in availability, I am having a text data, it is going to do count operation into it. But I do not want counting. I want whatever facility is available into that thing, it should be written as it is. So for say for example, in Sydney, room training room number 101 smart board facility, is it available or not? So the answer is yes. So I want yes to be listed into my pivoted data. So let's understand this thing. Now the data here is given in terms of a table data. So let's first of all load this table data into the Power Query editor window. So to load this thing, go to data, get data, will go from other sources, and the first option from table or range. Alternatively, you will see a shortcut which is given at the top only, from table on a range. You can select any one of the option. Let's select from table or range. So the first, this table data will be loaded into the Power Query editor window. Now here we want to aggregate the data in such a way that I want to pivot this column facility. So first of all, I will select the column facility. After selecting it, I will go to transform tab. In the transform group tab, I am going to find out this option called pivot column in any column group. Let's click on pivot column. So the first thing it is going to ask what values you want into the pivoted column. So click on this drop down. I want to list down the availability. So I will select available and I will click on OK. So if you see, it is going to pivot this data. Now, if you see in Brisbane in room 1, it is 1. If you see Sydney training room 1, it is 1. So in original data, if you see Sydney training room 101, it was written yes. So what it has done is basically aggregation. So wherever it is appearing yes, it has taken as 1, and wherever it is written nothing, it has taken as 0. So binary aggregation has been done in terms of 0 and whether it is available or not. Now, I do not want this to be listed over here. I want whatever facility that is available, it should be listed as it is. So, I do not want to aggregate anything. I want simple value as it is. So, for that, we are going to again click on the cog sign. So, if you see there is an option called advanced option. And by default, if you see aggregate value function, it has taken is count. So anyway, it is going to do counting. But here we have interesting option called don't aggregate. Don't aggregate will not do any kind of aggregation, and it will simply list the values which is written in the data set itself only. So let's select don't aggregate and click on OK. So now you see whatever value, if it is there inside it, it will be listed over here. So you see facility, which in facility column in which the value was there, it has converted into the row part, and the rows of facility has converted into the column part. So you smart board, TV projector, speakers, flip chart, they were supposed to be the row in my original data. Now they have become header. So the operation from row to column is known as a pivot. Now whenever we do pivot, it is going to do summarization or aggregation. But in Power Query Editor window, we have this option to unpivot, pivot, as well as do not aggregate while doing pivoting. So if you see, sometimes I want to see that whether in Sydney training room, smart board facilities available? Yes. TV projector is available? Yes. Speakers are available? Yes. It's a fixture. Then flip chart, it's a fixture. Now, if you see below it, speakers are available on request. So sometimes we do not want the aggregation to be done. And whenever you do not want aggregation to be listed and only simple values that has been listed, then you have to do pivot column and then you have to choose don't aggregate. Now, let's click on home. Let's click on load and click on close and load only. So the moment you click on close and load itself without opening this thing, what will happen on the upper half? Directly it will go create a new worksheet with name room facilities. So whatever name it is there, it will listed over here. New worksheet will be created and the data will be loaded over here. So by default, if you click on it, your entire data will be loaded to new worksheet. Now, if you see, we have this error which is unresolved. Now, let's solve this error also. Let's click on the evals. This is already a loaded query, but since this query is not loaded from our system, we are going to solve this error. Let's double click on evals. Now, if you see all the steps are done over here, we only need to change the source. So let's click on cog sign of the source. Let's click on browse. Then navigate it to the folder where you have saved. So my over here it is, now it is course evaluation Excel advanced file. Let's click on import. Let's click on OK. So data will be loaded from my system. Now directly I will go to the last step and I will see whether my data is appropriately seen or not. The only thing that I need to do is just make sure that data type is correct. So once your data type is fixed, sometimes it happens that your selection gets stuck. So always remember to remove the step and by default apply the data type manually again. Let's click on text, click on eval number text, click on text, and let's click on close and load. So data will be available from our system. If you want to cross check, just click on evaluation report, click on the graph. Let's go to pivot chart analyze and click on drop down of the refresh and select refresh all. This will load entire data as well as it will refresh the chart also. And you have this room facilities which is loaded here also. So this pivoting option is also one of the important option where you do not want to aggregate it. Let's save the file. Okay, so this is pivoting data into the query editor. In the next video, we are going to learn one important operation called grouping of the data. So make sure you download the files before doing practicals. If you have liked this video, please hit the like button. Do comment below, share this file with your colleagues, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel for the upcoming videos. Thank you.